Welcome back, peeps, to the Banner Bros channel. In today's video, we've got a really important one. We've got all of the Season 3 updates in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're going to be talking about the Warzone mode. We're going to be talking about the special patch notes that they did. So all those in-depth stuff that a lot of you guys don't know. For example, they changed some things in the audio. They did some weapon fixes. All the changes did to Warzone. So let's jump right into the main things which they changed. So they added 3 new multiplayer maps, which are Backlog, which was one in the previous Modern Warfare game. They did a whole remastered version, changed it up a bit. I play these maps, and honestly, I'm not really that much of a fan of them. I do like Backlog a little bit, but not really a fan of the other ones. Next one is going to be Havoc Sawmill, which is the one in the gameplay that you guys can see right now. I believe this is a new one. It is fairly good. I did enjoy it. The next one is going to be Anya Incursion, which is the one with the big palace in the middle. They didn't really do a remake. What they did was basically make the map smaller so it would fit the 6v6 player style. I didn't really like it, honestly, in my opinion, but just so you guys know, those are the 3 new maps they added. For Warzone, what they added was the new game mode, which they basically added. They've got Battle Royale solos, and now they've got Battle Royale quad, so you can jump in with 4 players at a time. They also added the new operators, which the first one is going to be this one called Ronin, and he is basically like this buff Asian dude that's got like tattoos all over himself. So that's going to be the new operator that they released. The second one is going to be this one called Alex, which was one of the players from the Modern Warfare series, from the Modern Warfare campaign, and they brought him back to life basically. And apparently when he went missing and all that, he did get his leg exploded, so he does have, I think, a prosthetic on his leg. And then the two operators on his side are basically the legendary version of himself. If you do get the battle pass, then you will automatically unlock his legendary version, which honestly looks pretty sick if you ask me. Now let's jump into some other new things that they added. They added some new gunfight maps as well, and they added a couple new multiplayer modes. Apparently they're going to re-add reinfected ground war. So it's, you know, the infected where there's a bunch of people. I guess they're going to add that one as well. And they also added the new weapons, which I'm going to show here in the background. So they added 2 new weapons: the SKS, which is a light semi-auto carbine chamber with 7.62, which a lot of you guys know if you guys have played PUBG. This is where it's from. And as you guys can see, it is basically in the marksman rifle class. It's going to be the last one. You're going to be able to unlock it once you get to the Battle Pass Tier 31. So the most common one to compare to would be to the EBR-14. So I've got the EBR-14 selected here. As you guys can see, the SKS has a little bit less accuracy, a little bit less range, but does have a faster fire rate than the EBR, and a little bit more mobility and a little bit more control. Next up, we're going to jump into that new weapon called the Grenade. All right, comparing it again to the M19 here, you guys can see it has a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more, quite a bit more damage, and a lot more range. So this one's seeing that you guys can see here the well-rounded semi-auto 9mm pistol. This unassuming sidearm excels in close range combat and features gunishing capabilities unique to the pistol class that permit a variety of engagement strategies. So it's going to be interesting to see all the attachments that you can add to the Grenade, and let's see how powerful this little pistol becomes. Next, let's jump right into all of the patch notes and everything they added, all those little secret things that the game doesn't tell you that you have to go into the patch notes to figure it out. So first off, they fixed some audio issues here. So first off, they lowered the volume of the plane audio during infill. Thank the Lord. So if you guys don't know, that means when you are basically just jumping out of the plane in Warzone, I mean, it was insanely loud. I mean, you can hear your friends, you can hear anybody. I remember all my friends used to make jokes where we're all screaming like, "What? I can't hear you." So I mean, basically what they did was they lowered the volume during the plane infill, which is amazing. They also lowered the audio once you enter the gulag. They reduced the volume of occluded, far, and distant weapons. This is also pretty important. So you guys noticed in Warzone, you could hear gunshots from around, you know, like 5 kilometers away. Not 5 kilometers. I mean, the map's not that big, but let's say probably 1,000 meters, you know, 700 meters. You could hear those gunshots, but I mean, you could hear them like if they were right next to you, and they wouldn't even appear in the map. That happened to me a lot. I don't know if that happened to you guys, but they did fix that, so you are going to be it's going to be a lot harder to hear those distant weapon gunshots. Now, they also did a lot of weapon fixes. They basically buffed the shotgun. So they fixed an issue where the line breaker variant of the EBR could outperform the base version of the same weapon. This was something that they figured out on Reddit. So if you had the variant, the line breaker, which is a variant of the EBR, you could basically one-shot a person, even though if it had the same attachments, every single thing, but it was just a lot more powerful. So it was basically a pay-to-win weapon. Thank God to all the Reddit guys, Reddit community brought it out there, and they finally fixed it. They tightened the pellet spread on the slug 6-round mags for the model 680, so it's going to be a lot easier to hit those long shots with the slug. The akimbo weapons now start with 2 extra magazines of ammunition instead of 1. They tightened up the hip spread of the VLK Rogue shotgun, which was that new shotgun they added, which kind of like reloads on the, you kind of hold it on the left side, and it has like this, it has a reload chamber on the left side as well. That's the new shotgun they tightened up the hip spread for, and they decreased the ADS, so they decreased the aiming down spread for these shotgun slugs. So now if you're going to be aiming and you have shotgun slugs, that is going to be even more insane than it was before. So they basically buffed the shotguns up a little bit. They thought they were a little bit too weak. Now let's jump into Warzone. Now we now tell you how far away you are from your teammates while in the match. This is something pretty important I thought they were missing in the game as well. So while you're in the match, above their name, you will also see the distance they are from you. They fixed for the gas mask animation, interrupting and blocking players from deploying their parachute. So for example, if you were about to jump from a building and the gas just got to you and you were doing the animation of the gas mask pulling onto you, you were not able to press X and then open your parachute, which would cause you basically to die because you would go on the floor and then turn yourself into a pancake. So apparently they did fix it. Now they also fixed a bug where players could be killed by vehicles without being near them. This was a huge problem. Players getting killed everywhere, you know, getting squished by pancakes all over the place with cars, and they weren't even hitting them. They were going through windows and all that. So they tested this and they said they said this was fixed. We are gonna have to go and test it and see if it is true. Next up, another big change. They increased the price again of the loadout drop. People again, I think they're complaining that the loadout drops are too powerful. So it was 8,500. Now it's going to be 10,000 dollars, 10,000 pesos, 10,000 whatever the hell you want to call it. But now it is 10,000. And that is going to be a huge amount. Usually with the 8,500, if my friends got into a contract and we did that contract and we looted that place, we will usually have enough for 8,500. I guess the reason why they did this is because they are also adding a 4th player. So now there is 4 of you guys looking for money and doing stuff. So this does make sense in a way. I don't think it's going to be a lot harder to get the 10,000, especially now if you are 4 players. Again, you do have to be working together. Next up, they fixed an issue with the final circles occurring out of bounds or in undesirable areas. So apparently they did fix that as well. And they also added vehicle skins, so you are going to be able to get yourself some nice skins and slap it on those trucks and slap it on those ATVs if you guys wish to do so. Thank you very much for tuning in. I believe this is everything. If I did miss anything, if you guys want to comment down anything, put it down below in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys did enjoy the video and want to see more, like the video and subscribe. Peace out, everybody. And I'll see you all in the next one.